Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We are here and we are back. So, to make sure we straight, we are streaming live now on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So, I would like to welcome everybody to the show. Y'all know what it is. It's Glenpool Harding, CEO and founder of Basketballheadzz, High School Basketball Weekly. And we are here tonight. My guy, partner in crime, Brian Reinkert, head writer for Made Hoops, can't make it tonight. Just got a text. Tonight is his mom's birthday. So happy birthday to Ms. Reinkert. Enjoy your night. Well, listen, tonight starts the battle for New York Supremacy. That's right. Basketballheadzz New York All-Star Tournament Weekend, featuring some of the best players in the state of New York. And tonight, we have two of them, in Elijah Godbolt from Albany Academy and Jayden Osinski from Christian Brothers Academy, along with their coach, Sean Brown from Albany High School. Let's start the show. Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is. Glenpool Harding back at it. We got a banger tonight. And listen, we had to go upstate, right? We're going to start upstate, then work our way down. Tonight, we got some of the participants and the coach from the Albany team for the battle for New York Supremacy. And look, a lot of people been, on these podcasts, in my ear, in my DM, saying they can't wait for this game. Salute to my peoples from all around New York, anticipating these matchups. I think it's going to be some great games, some great talent. And it's time that we bring New York together, because when y'all speak about us on the national level, y'all only talk about the city. Y'all don't know we got talent all over New York State. And tonight, I'm going to give y'all an example. And on May 31st, I got to make sure I put that down there too. Game time, May 31st. And June 1st, we having our Basketballheadzz New York All-Star Tournament Weekend. So without further ado, let's bring in my guests tonight. Coach Brown, what's happening?
Hey, good evening, Con Sir. Good evening.
Oh man. I want to bring in these next two gentlemen. I gotta say big up to this gentleman right here, Elijah Godbolt. He is now going to be playing for Fairleigh Dickinson University. Let's make some noise. I always gotta make some noise for the alma mater in the building. And Jayden Osinski, we're going to go call him JJ. Y'all get used to that name because he's one of the brightest stars in New York. All right? What up, Jay?
How's it going?
How you doing, brother?
Not bad. How about yourself?
I am doing great. Oh, look at that. Look. Look. My guy's in the building. What up, B?
How we doing, guys? How we doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Yeah. So listen.
Got the boys in the building.
Everybody is in the building. All right. We got nice what's this? NYCE the Beast. Wanna say what up? Coming straight from Upstate. Look, Elijah the God. Right? We're gonna call it the God, right? Look. JJ. Oh, you know, y'all already getting love from Upstate. He's always on the tap.
Listen, it's serious when you get a New York City name. So you're gonna have it on the front end, but then when you show up, you're gonna have another one on the back end. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. Got my guy CK. Look, my guy CK has been keeping us tapped in to all the players upstate, man. So this has been dope, right? This is dope. I'm trying to make sure. Let me see. How can I do this? Okay, do. Yeah, let's do that like that. All right. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining the show. I'm glad you guys could be here, man. Appreciate your B. I gave Mom a big birthday shout out. I didn't know, bro. I didn't know. I was like, it's all good.
Listen, man, all my days are confused. I've been running around grabbing cakes. I saw JJ and Elijah on. I was like, man, I got to get on. I was hustling, man.
No doubt. Hey, Coach, let's start with you. How long have you been at Albany High? And let's tell the people what's the competition like upstate so they can get an idea what's going on. Because I think a lot of times we're so disconnected from each other. We have no idea what's going on up there. And a lot of times we don't know. Y'all guys don't know what's going on down here.
Yeah, I've been at Albany High for 14 years now. And, New York State is a large state with a lot of talent. And if you're a basketball head, you understand how much talent has come out of the Capital District. We're the capital of New York, so we produce in more ways than one. These two young men, they put in the work for a number of years. And obviously Elijah, the fruits of his labor has come into fruition by him getting an opportunity and a scholarship. And JJ is a young bull that I got to deal with for another 2 years. So,
right.
So it's not a good look, but that's what it is. Credit to their parents, credit to their high school coaches for producing such fine young men and student athletes. So I'm happy to participate in this event. But again, these guys have put in the work, which earned them the right to be a part of this great event.
Coach, I'm going to piggyback on kind of what Pooh said too. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the excellent coaches up in the area by you? Because I feel like there's a lot of difference makers coaches-wise and a lot of impressive, men leading some of these young kids and getting them, to the next level. Could you mention some of the, the coaches that have impressed you in that area by you?
Listen, there's a laundry list. I mean, you could count on, the last 8 years, how many coaches from the Capital District won a New York State championship. So one of the individuals that I always pay homage to is Brian Fuscio, who's no longer coaching the Capital District. He coaches prep school, but he coached me as a college athlete, and he's one of the top coaches in our area. Couple of retired guys, JJ's old coach from CBA, been in the business for a very, very long time. We got the coach from Green Tech. They've won a couple of state championships in the past couple of years. Currently at Troy High School, we got Jamel Hood, who used to coach at Green Tech. So Shenandoah High School, retired coach. So there's a laundry list. There's a laundry list of great coaches in this area that's produced, has done some fabulous things for some young men in our area, and just proud to be a part of the lineage from the Capital District.
Man, speaking of Shenandoah, I remember going up there and losing a close game to Greg Kubek and the boys, man. A lot of talent upstate, man. And this was in the 80s. So just imagine. Okay. Yeah. The 1900s, fellas. I know you guys looking at me like the 80s. Like this guy must be a million years old. Yeah, my guys. See, look, CK's over here on it. Dave Domel from CBA.
Absolutely. Mentor of mine as well. Again, great coach, man. Great coach.
Elijah, you had such a successful career, man, and now you're heading to Fairleigh Dickinson. What was it like playing that Albany Academy all these years, and what lessons did you learn?
No, it was good. Like I got there my sophomore year, and like the competition was way better from like what I had experienced the year before. Like we was playing a national schedule, like top ranked players, so like it really prepares you for the next level. And then like all my coaches too, like like they did a good job like preparing me like not only as a basketball player but as like a man too.
And Elijah, why did you end up picking Fairleigh Dickinson? I've seen you kind of explode over these last couple of months and really take off recruitment-wise and see more schools get involved and your options kind of open. But Fairleigh Dickinson kind of came in real late, swooped in and picked you up. Talk about why you chose that school.
Yeah, the culture, like it's important for me to have like a family environment, like wherever I go, because like that's where I'm gonna be. So like like even on my visit, like all the coaches came and made sure like made sure they talked to me, and like also their player development over there is really good. Like they're always in the gym, and like that's my main goal is to get better, to achieve my goals. So like the player development is really good. So that was like the main selling point.
Yo, Jay, man, being the youngest of the bunch, right? But very, very talented. What is it like being at such a legendary school like CBA?
I mean, it's great to follow in the footsteps of a lot of the past players there. Obviously, in that span from 2000 to 2011, had a bunch of sectional championships, one state championship. So obviously, just trying to follow in those footsteps.
Yeah, and JJ, I got to see you a little bit. You had some experience against, coming down to Long Island, playing some schools, and especially when you played against the Long Island teams, you had a great amount of success. What are you kind of building on this offseason to kind of get your name to the next level? I know you're playing in some serious competition right now with the guys up there. But give us some insight. What are you working on? What do you want to get really improved by next year?
I mean, obviously everything needs to improve to get to the next level. But the thing that I'm trying to work on the most is my shooting ability, just because, every team can use a shooter. And if you're almost automatic with every shot, then that'll really elevate your game a ton. So that's my main goal.
Shoot, listen, if he's working on his shot, I don't know what he's doing because the shot is a killer.
I know. I know, Coach. It's a scary thing when he said that,
Right. And adding on to that, Coach, right? Let's think about it, right? What can you tell me about these two guys and why were they really high on your list when you sat back and got to pick your team? And I want to let everybody know this, right? Because I'm getting a lot of DMs from players from all over asking me, yo, can I get down? Can I get down? And I'm saying, listen, I'm the face of the tournament. I can't pick anyone. I can't show any favoritism. I'm from New York City. I can't show any favoritism. I'll leave it up to the coaches. Win, lose, or draw. The coaches made decision for the players. And, explain why these two guys was high on your list when it came to picking your team.
I think they said it in their opening statements. I mean, these two young men, they work. They work. They stay in the gym. Nothing is handed to them. It's not about their name. They've earned everything that they've gotten. And at the end of the day, they are competitors. I've watched Elijah from afar, but I've seen JJ up close and personal, so I understand. But at the end of the day, great young men, competitors, won't back down, always up for the fight, always up for the challenge. One thing that coaches always say, listen, if I was in an alley fight, there's a certain amount of guys that I think I want to make sure that they come with me. And these two young men are two people that if I'm in an alley fight, A1 and A2 right
No
up there.
doubt. No doubt. I love that, coach, and I'm so excited to see these guys play. You know, they're two different levels, but they're absolutely two superstars up there. I'm going to start with JJ. I hope I'm not skipping too far ahead, Pooh, but you just stole my question, which was awesome. JJ, give me a little bit of a prediction about how Team Albany up there is going to do in our little tournament. What are you thinking?
Our predictions, we're going to bring home that championship.
I love it. I love it, man. Even the sophomore making noise like that. Elijah, what are you thinking, man? Give me some insights to Team Albany. How are we going to do? How are we going to look?
And I think we're gonna come out. I think we'll be very tough on the defensive end, guarding, rebounding, and then just playing fast off the break, and obviously winning, of course.
Listen, I warned all three of these sections, man. I said Albany's going to play defense, man. Albany's ready to play some defense. You know,
I've been telling everybody. I said, listen, bring your game, not your name.
Yeah.
You know, and the famous words of my guy Pete Edwards that run the ISA tournament: bring your game and not your name, because you walk out there being embarrassed. And this is for, New York Supremacy and to be the Kings of New York. That's all it's about. Bragging rights to carry back to your hometown and said, we went down there, we competed and gave it our all. Elijah, tell us about the competition level up, in the capital area and how tough it is competing every night against some of those top players up there.
Yeah, I think the Albany area is really overlooked. We got a bunch of guys like throughout the years. If you look back at the past high schools, the past teams, you're gonna see at least 2 or 3 guys on every team that is really good. We got a lot of guys that probably should have went higher than what they did college wise, but just a lack of exposure, which is why it's good that we're starting to do this. So yeah, every night you're playing against a college player every single day, so it's good.
And then JJ, what are some other schools that are kind of up in that area that I know you're one of the younger guys, but give us some of the schools that you've kind of run across up there that, have given you some good competition or has a couple of players that you think, could play at the next level.
I mean, obviously Albany Academy with Elijah played them this year, but Shaker won the state championship, so they got a lot of talent out there. A few of their guys on our team actually. Yeah, those are 2 solid teams.
Yeah, I like Shaker a lot for sure.
Yeah, man. You talk about Shaker. I remember back in the days, what's my guy, Sam Perkins, the great Sam Perkins went to North Carolina. And again, I'm saying my age, right? All these guys from back in the days. But you just remember some of those schools, the CBAs and things of that nature that Shaninda Ho was and everybody else that was definitely doing well. Said big basketball family in Albany area too, and that's another thing, Coach. That's what I wanna talk about now, right? What is the support and the fanfare for the schools up in the capital area, and are y'all bringing that wave down?
Well, I hope we're bringing it down. Hey, listen, every school travels well. I'm originally from New York City, and I came up here in '91 to go to college. And one thing that struck me as unique coming out of New York City is just the amount of coverage that these young men get from the media, whether it's the newspaper or the four networks. They cover high school basketball like you wouldn't believe. So that's definitely something that is a positive. And the fan base, they come out. Another high school that's really successful in our area is Niskayuna High School. They draw crowds. I mean, you have a couple of other schools, Bethlehem High School. Student body comes out. They come out and support these young men like you wouldn't believe.
Say, yo, Coach Brown, we need a charter bus They already put it in. You scribble that paper. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. You know what I'm saying? So
Actually, we made there's a bus line called Yankee Trailways. I think if we give them a little marketing promotion, I mean, we have to get the charter bus coming down.
Nah, that's so, and that's crazy that you're talking about the marketing and promotion because unlike upstate New York, there's no coverage for the kids. So it's up to guys like myself, Brian, and all of New York City's independent media companies that kind of, do all the coverage, do all the filming, get them on YouTube, get them on Instagram, TikTok, and all those other platforms, Facebook, to kind of get that exposure. And I think, again, y'all have something that works in y'all favor. And then down here, we have to do the footwork to get our kids some exposure. So, again, bringing it all together is going to be a great thing. It's going to be a great thing.
And, Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about your coaching staff. And are you guys going to try and implement any of your style from, like, your high school program into the team? Or are you going to try and kind of take a new approach, having a bunch of different guys?
Listen, and you guys know this from covering basketball. When you have a group of alpha males,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
There's not much that you can put them in situations to be successful, but there's really not much that we're going to put in play. Unlike their high school teams, like you may have a high school team where you can scheme things because they may have a weak player here, a weak player there. But when you assemble a group of young men that are the alpha males on each of their teams, it's all about saying, listen, gentlemen, we are all here to benefit you, and we can work together as a team in order to represent the Capital District. So there's no need for us to play hero ball because we're all so talented. We'll put them in some situations that will highlight their individual talents. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we're just going to defend and we're going to run and put some points on the board because that's what they like to do.
Listen, I was at the McDonald's All-American game, and I left at halftime. I'm going to keep it a buck. It just seemed like everybody was playing me ball, right? And I know with a game like this is so territorial that you kind of like leave the individual guy home. You kind of put in the piece that you need to be good with the team, right? Because, and I'm going to go to every locker room and tell each team, just reinforce it. Like, if you're out here trying to get MVP, that's not going to happen, right? We want to make sure whatever award goes to the player that's going to help their team.
Yeah, it's going to be the winning team is going to be the MVP for sure.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Of course we want to, make sure that player that helps carry their team, and it may be not the player who had the most points. I'm going to keep it a buck. It's, if you out there trying to get 30 and, your team, is not looking well and not playing as a unit, you're not going to get that vote from us, man. So just, and I'm going to tell all teams that, man, so everybody know this is about team basketball, and we want to make sure that this comes off that way so, it makes you guys and everybody else look good and also the product.
And I think what you'll find is the young men that we have on this Capital District team, their skill sets complement one another. You just don't have one guy, that does the same thing that the other guy does. Their skill set complements one another. And when I showed them our initial roster, I'm pretty sure a guy sat back and was like, "Okay, all right." and I'll pose the question to Elijah and JJ. What were your thoughts when you saw the names on the list of the young men that we're assembling for this team? JJ?
I mean, it's all dudes that I've been playing against for 2-3 years now, so it's going to be nice playing against them or playing with them instead of having to play against them.
Love that.
Good talent, good players, so yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think like you know, since everyone's like so talented, like another part that you usually don't get is like the unselfish part. Like everyone on that list, like, is not gonna come out looking for theirs. Like they're gonna play team basketball and just try to win. So like we got a good group of characters on the team as well. There's talent.
Yeah, I thought that's what you guys did, Coach. A really good job of constructing the roster. You know, not only with the skills but the personalities. You know, something you definitely got to look into. You know, when you want to have a successful team. But Elijah, I want to ask you something. You know, you're a real inspiration for a lot of kids in the area. You know, you've worked so hard. You've been under the radar forever. You're finally getting your due. What advice would you give some of the younger guys in the area? You know, even guys on your AAU team who are flying under the radar, who have really been working hard, who kind of are at the same level as you, but are just not getting that love. You know, what do you say to those guys to
Yeah,
keep them kind of motivated?
yeah. I mean, we have a bunch of kids like that, like especially like over the years and stuff. So I would say just like, especially for the younger guys, like don't really worry about the recruiting, like the offers and stuff, because like unless you're like a 5-star, like those offers aren't gonna come really early. So I'd say just keep your head down, keep working. Like I didn't get most of my offers till like that summer leading up.
Yeah.
So like it only takes one good tournament for you to really just like get your name out there. So just keep your head down and keep working and control what you can control.
Yeah. And then a great answer. And then JJ, I want to ask you something kind of on the other end, you know, as a player kind of emerging as a younger player, you know, starting to get some love and attention. How do you stay like focused on, you know, your goals and kind of block out the outside noise? Because, you know, I know that there's a ton of people kind of coming at you different ways to maybe go to this school, or come to this program and do this. How do you kind of stay focused and block out, you know, all the noise outside?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, all the positive stuff and the negative stuff, it's all outside noise. So kind of like Elijah was saying, just got to keep your head down, keep working, you know, just stay on your pathway.
I love that answer too.
This is a question for both Elijah and JJ. I'm gonna start up with Elijah first. Elijah, who are some of the guys you looked up to in your area that kind of motivated you to get better?
Yeah, so I started at CBA when I was in middle school, elementary school. So we had a player, Jordan King. He was a couple years older than me, but he was like an older brother. Like
So
he
good.
yeah,
So good, Elijah.
yeah. But he went to Siena and then Richmond. So like I always looked up to him because we're on around the same height, same skill set. Small guy that was really good. Also, Boo Bowie, he went to Northwestern, originally from Troy. So he's a guy I've known since I was little. And just really admiring like those small point guards that are able to play at a high level and like be undersized, unathletic, and still be able to contribute.
Your turn, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at CBA too. So Jordan King was a guy that I looked up to when I was younger. But also I started at Boston Spa before I came to CBA. So when I was in elementary school, Keegan Zoller I was always at those games watching him play. And he was big in Boston Spa just because, first 1,000-point scorer, all-time leading scorer, all that stuff.
Man, Pooh, I'm getting old because I coached against Jordan King, man. I love that kid, dude. I'm not shocked that both of these guys dropped Jordan King because he's a legend up there. Talk about a talent. I know Coach knows. I mean, what a bucket. And, I can't wait to see him kind of finish up his career. But two terrific picks, boys. Very awesome answers for sure.
Bennington Martin said, my guy Sean Brown played high school and my college teammate, right? It's a great role model for the kids. Like when you guys got the call from Coach Brown that he was putting his team together, what was the first thing you guys thought? Like, is this really happening? Like, what went through your mind, Elijah? Then I'll go to you, Jay.
Nah, I was excited. Like, anytime you get a chance to go to the city and compete, get your name out there more and just great competition. Like I seen the other players from like the other teams that'll be playing. So I was excited just to, get out there and compete and win.
Yeah, and same thing. It's just a great opportunity to go play basketball, play against good players, and hopefully win.
Now I'm going to throw this out to both of you guys. Whoever wants to answer first, you don't have to answer. I know Albany guys very buttoned up. I know Coach has got them locked in. Is there anybody on any of the rosters that you're looking forward to competing against? Not saying you're calling anyone out. Just want to know if there's anybody on the list for anywhere that you're looking forward to playing against. JJ, you want to go first?
I'm just looking to play basketball, man.
How about you, Elijah? Anybody?
Nah, I look at everyone the same. You know, I don't put no one over the other. So I'm just trying to win.
Have you guys played against any of the other guys out, in the Long Island, Westchester, New York area?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Now a question we always ask, and I'm dying to know, as I've gotten to know you guys a little bit. Elijah, how'd you get into basketball, and who kind of motivates you to stay on top of your game and keep pushing forward?
Yeah, so my dad and my uncle put the ball in my hands. My dad played at UMass Lowell, and then my uncle played at Maine, in Holy Cross, and then he got drafted by the Celtics and went overseas for 12 years. So, like, just watching them play when I was younger, like watching them play in men's leagues and stuff, that's how I fell in love with it. Then I've been working out with them like ever since I was really young, and then like trying to make it to where they made it, and then like even beyond, like pro and stuff. So definitely keeps a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, and my dad was, my parents both put the ball in my hand when I was younger, even on like the mini hoops, stuff like that when I was real little. But my dad played at Siena and played overseas, so that's a guy I kind of look up to, and keeps me motivated to keep going and keep going.
Awesome.
And listen, I don't know Elijah's dad, but the fact that he went to UMass Lowell and played hoop, I can understand he's a baller. But I know JJ's dad, and he was a problem. He was a bona fide problem. So, like father, like son, for sure.
No doubt, man.
Love that.
Both tough schools, man. Both too. Hey, Coach, why do you think people sleep on players from upstate?
Well, it's an interesting thing. The Mecca is New York City, right? At the end of the day. And I don't think it's a matter of people sleeping on upstate, but we just don't have the platform in the rest of the state. We don't have the platform that New York City has, right? And so one of the things that I've always tried to do for young men in this area was, we would try to assemble a couple of cats. If it was my high school team, fine. If it was, a couple of kids from the area, we would try to go down to the city in the summer and play in hoops in the sun so they could understand the difference, right, between New York City basketball and Capital District basketball, because there is a distinct difference, right?
Yes.
And so whether it's Gun Hill tournament in the Bronx, whether it's Dykeman, we rarely traveled out to Brooklyn because that would have had to tack on another 45 minutes to our commute. So we try to keep it in the northeast side of the Bronx and upper Manhattan. But just giving the young men that experience, it's huge. There's a young man who graduated from Albany Academy years ago, Elijah. His name is John Scott. And in my earlier years of coaching high school basketball, he was a young man that we would bring down to the city, and he loved it. Like he thrived. He ended up getting a scholarship to go to Iona College, and I think he finished up his career at Geneseo. But one milestone experience he had once he played at Hoops in the Sun, he was on the cover of Street and Smith magazine. And so again, it's the platform, right? So we have talent, but again, the marketing piece was different back then, but still you had access, right? And so today that young man is thriving, and we always have great conversations about our road trips down to New York City and playing, driving down on a Friday, staying overnight through Sunday, playing in different tournaments and just doing the circuit, whether you're watching and or playing. It's just a different animal. It's just a different beast. It's just a different mindset to allow these young men to experience.
Before you get to your next question, we got to do some sponsor work because we got some sponsors for this game right here. Definitely want to give big shout out to our sponsors, Athletes and Athlete Sports Apparel, my guy, Nando, who provided these are y'all jerseys right here, fellas. So I think I can show y'all these right here. Hopefully y'all can see them. Coach picked the white jerseys for you guys.
I like those, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are shorts as well.
Sweet.
Got the city on them. You know what I'm saying? And also, each coach get a coach's shirt. And also, you guys get shooting shirts as well. So not only we want to make sure it's nice, we want to make sure you guys look nice. Okay?
Sweet.
Here we go.
Sweet.
These are the shooting shirts, and it says, play for the future, respect the past. Right? So I want to give a big shout out to our uniform sponsor, Athletes and Athletes. My guy Nando. Salute to my guy over at Game Over. My guy Eric Hicks, who will be supplying the trophies. So I got everything except the camera here. That he's gonna be the trophies for the MVP awards and things of that nature. And hold on, put this down. It's a lot of promo. And now in the link, you guys will, if you guys check out this new camera, XBot Go. XBot Go turns into your smartphone into a relentless AI camera built for sports tracking every sprint, dunk, and goal across 20+ sports like soccer and basketball. Lift the burden of recording from volunteers, parents, or assistant coach, and focus on the game. XBot Go, the only way to go capturing sports priceless moments. All right, so here we go. We'll be right back. All right, that's XBot Go. It's a new revolutionary camera that you don't need to hold. It kind of follow along with the action, and you can also isolate a player. All right, and it gives you highlights in real time, and you also can stream live. So check it out, XBot Go. And if you use the code Basketballheadzz with 2 Z's, you will receive $20 off. All right, we're saying that. We get back to the show. Go ahead, B. You good?
Well done, my friend. So, Coach, I just wanted to kind of piggyback what Pooh was saying. You talked about kind of the coverage being one of the problems. What can guys like me and Pooh do to help Albany grow and help Upstate basketball get more shine? Because as I've kind of dipped my toes more into traveling upstate and getting involved with more schools, seeing guys like JJ, and Elijah, I'm really starting to see that there's so much depth up here. What's some of the things that we could kind of do to help out, Coach?
That's an interesting question, and I would love to get the perspective of the young men, because their idea of marketing and promotion, is next level from my perspective. It'll be interesting, and I'll just say this before I kick it to one of them. It'll be interesting if there could be a statewide network of some sort as a marketing tool, right? Because if there's one portal, for lack of a better term, that can house information, and then you have agents, regionally, I think that can help just to make sure that everybody's on a level playing field when it comes to high school basketball, right? I think there's just a lot of inconsistency with stats, whether it's the local paper and who's posting the stats. And if there was one consistent portal, I think that would help. But I would love to hear what the young men would have to say about helping to elevate, exposure for folks in our area.
I mean, I'll say I think it's good that we got games around here, like, the Big G Classic for summertime, and then like the Upstate All-Star Showcase. But I think like it would be good to combine and, like have more stuff like what we're doing right now, where we like combine and get the best players from all our areas and just go compete with a lot of media coverage, just so, because it'll be entertaining with all the best players. So just having more stuff like that where we can compete and, create like a community.
Yeah, and just talking about advertising, everyone's on social media, no matter what platform it is. So I feel like that's a big thing to get the events out there, stuff like that.
One more piece to add,
Mm-hmm.
and my man Kenny mentioned it a couple earlier in the year on your podcast. Establishing some sort of commission, right, that will allow sort of this rotating circuit where, hey, an entity comes down, they get to play in Albany for a weekend. An entity comes down, they get to play in Brooklyn one day, they get to play in Bronx another day, they get to play. So something, listen, we're creative individuals. We can make it happen one way or the other, as long as the conversation is, we can put the conversation on the table.
Now listen, this is already in the works, right? So this is the beginning of something great, to where we can start doing that on a much bigger platform. This would be the start of it, and then as the year go on, I don't want to give too much away because I know a lot of people are gonna be watching this. But look, there's nothing like bringing down the schools and getting the feel of the high school gyms down in New York City, and then bringing kids up there so they can get that feel to kind of open up their minds a little bit and bringing everybody together and keep that going on, because these guys are gonna be playing against each other in AAU and also in college. So you want to keep that New York brotherly love and that brotherhood together, and it starts with things like this. Yeah, hold on for a sec. Hold on. Cause I want to start answering the people. So when looking at state schools, do not forget the smaller rural district. That's a fact. We want to try to bring them all in. Can we start cross streaming in order to reach other areas? Yes. And this is why I say we'll come on y'all platforms, y'all come on our platforms, and that's why CK, my guy, Mr. Hudson, has been so valuable to us, because he will put us on to people that we have no idea about, right? So we've had that connection throughout the year and trying to be consistent with it, but we definitely want to be more consistent with it as we go on. Says holiday tournaments that mirror the NCAA brackets in schools from cities and local. Wow, that's cool. Because look, New York City is not part of the foundation anymore. I mean, the federation anymore.
Yeah,
and that's what I think is the separation. But there's nothing that say that we can't do something. They're gonna say, well, you can't use the school names, and you can't have on the uniforms that say. So there's a lot of rules, but we could probably get around it. CK says Jennifer, for sure, as some of the small schools can play up and have good teams, individual talent, schools like Lyons, Randolph, Dwaynesbury. See.
all you got to do is look at the state championships, Pooh. There's always a tough small school. There's always an upstate school right in the mix. And, it's crazy how much talent they have in that pocket and how many guys they've even gotten to the NBA, like, Herter and Andre Jackson just over the past couple of years. And it's definitely a hotbed. And I loved all the input of you guys of how to make it grow, and I'm definitely gonna, take that advice and see what we can do with it, because it's true. Maybe more tournaments kind of getting the top guys or several teams from the area. It's like almost the amount of tournaments kind of pull apart everything, because like we said, JJ was up here, on Long Island this year, like that's got to be promoted more when CBA travels and things like that. Same with Albany Academy. Like, we should have known whenever they were on Long Island and things like that. So I think you guys are hitting on some big things that a unified approach could really help these kids a lot.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Well, listen, I'm glad that we got a chance to do this. We learned a lot about you guys.
We started with the Albany boys for a reason now. Come on, baby.
Hey, listen, we got to start at the Capitol. We got to show some respect, right? We got to start at the Capitol and then work our way down. And just to let you know, guys, you guys start off tonight the tournament, because it starts like in the afternoon, against Long Island, right? So we wanted to get both ends, Long Island and Albany, playing each other, and then in between there's New York City and there's Westchester. And then after that, we'll see who plays after that. And it's going to be a battle.
And I warned my guys on Long Island, man. I said, this is a rivalry that I want. And, every time you guys come down here, you guys always are awesome on Long Island. I've loved always coaching against teams up there. We've traveled up there when I coached. Always loved it. So was super excited for this matchup. And, really appreciate you guys coming on. Two great pillars for New York Upstate, represent, guys to represent. And, you got a great coach, great coaching staff. So wanted to thank you guys tremendously for coming on. And super excited you guys are part of the event.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys and good luck. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. No doubt. No doubt.
Anytime, boys. See you soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey,
Albany, baby.
Listen, first of all, I'm glad you made it in the clutch, man. You made it in the clutch.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry, man. It was a whirlwind today, man. I swear, like, it's the first time I sat down and I'm like, I gotta check my phone, and I was like, oh my God, it's 8:00.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, I appreciate you, man. Tomorrow we have Westchester.
Let's go, man. I'm telling you, we are building. Pooh, the amount of effort that you've been putting in, man, I know people are never going to understand it, but you are killing it, bro. You know how to run events. This thing has turned out to be beautiful. I got our lanyards all set. I need you got to send me little cards with the Basketballheadzz logo, and I'll print them out. Whether there's the coaches, refs, all the media and everything. We'll take care of that. But the event's shaping out to look good. And, man, I hope the people listening saw my guy reading the sponsors, because that's a tough thing to do, and he slayed it. Come on now.
Man, listen, people have been blessing us, man. We've been blessed to have some people pull up and kind of, help us with this thing, man. And, yes, tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for kids, $20 VIP courtside seats, baby. Maybe 25. You better get them quick. They may be going up to 25 soon. All right.
Hey, listen, man, and that's a steal. That's a steal for this event, because I don't know if you saw over the weekend some of those prices of some of those events, man. Like $90 for a weekend.
Woo! Crazy. Might
have to hit hit up the Cash App to just to get in there. Might need a loan just to watch the boys play, man. It's crazy.
Man, listen, it's crazy. Look, both games 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. both days. 1 p.m., 3 p.m. both days. The date is May 31st at Stevenson High School in the Bronx.
And you got to reach out to Dave's Joint, right, Poop? You want to be media, you got to reach out to Dave's Joint.
That's right.
Taking care of that. Everybody else, you got to, talk to Poop, make sure you get tickets, things like that. And, I'm so ready for these guys to bring it. I hope some coaches come down and watch these guys compete.
Bet. Inbox me, brother. Inbox me for sure. That's the best way to get in contact with me. Inbox me on IG, Basketballheadzz. the game, yes, the game will be streamed live.
That's right, baby. We're gonna stream it, announce it like we did all year. Have fun with that, and listen, man, it's just gonna be great competition. You know, a lot of pride at stake, and this is the start of something big. So I can't wait.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, listen, this has been a great show. Thank you to the Albany team for representing the capital area, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, appreciate you. Thank you.
You raised a good one, Elijah's mom. I love that kid. He's a great kid, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Guys did a great job. Thank you. And he's going to my alma mater too.
I know, man. How awesome is that?
Bravo. Yes. You're welcome. Well, listen, B. I know we gotta get ready to get out of here, man. Another great show, High School Basketball Weekly. We are in the building.
Let's go, baby.
Peace.
Long Island next.
Oh, Westchester
next. God.
Westchester tomorrow, then Long Island, then New York City. Stay tuned for more. We are out. Peace.
Westchester.
Yes, sir.